Hi, this is KiwaniTalk. My name is Skip Armstrong. I'm a member of the Dearborn Kiwanis Club, and we have a remote, our first remote that we've done since we've got a grant from the Cable Commission to do shows. And I've got one that you guys will really be interested in. It's Lisa Sourbeck owns Cherry Hill Barbers. She just, a year ago, she bought the barbershop, didn't you?
I did, about a year and a half ago.
Okay. Well, and I'm actually going to get my hair cut here, believe it or not, and unfortunately I have to pay her.
This can be a freebie today.
No, I don't want to do that. Lisa bought the shop in January of 2020. You know what happened in March? Everything shut down, and this poor young lady had a barber shop with pictures all over, the sports pictures all over. Anyway, I want to introduce Lisa Sourbeck. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks, Skip.
I need a little background from you, though. So
Okay.
let's tell us about your family and yourself. Where you went to school, grew up.
Okay, so I grew up in Melvindale and graduated from Virginia Farrell Beauty School and also from Melvindale High School in 1996. And I started my career as a cosmetologist and ended up here at Cherry Hill Barbers in 1999. Between there, I've gone to Henry Ford Community College and also Wayne State University. I studied special education, but here I am. I'm still a barber here.
And your mother and father are still in Melvindale?
Yes, I have a brother that is deceased. He was 2 years younger than me, and my parents still live in Melvindale.
Okay.
Yes.
You might as well get started then on my hair if you're going to cut it.
All right, let's do
We'll
it.
talk about it. You say you had a brother that's deceased now. That's one of the reasons I think you went into special education.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have a son.
I do. I have a little boy, Thomas, and Thomas is 7. He'll be 8 coming up in November, so he's starting 2nd grade over here in Dearborn at Divine Child.
Good, good. And if somebody wants to come into Cherry Hill Barbershop, it's at the corner, the strip mall, the corner of Cherry Hill and Telegraph. And they might see a black dog in here. What's the dog's name?
Oh, that's Lola.
Lola?
That's Thomas's little dog. Lola comes to work with me every day.
And what kind of dog is Lola?
Lola is a little French bulldog.
Okay.
Yes.
Cute little dog, too. Okay, so we're going back. I really felt sorry for this young lady because she bought this place in January of 2020. And you could tell us a little bit before that. You say you started here in 99?
Yes, so I started working here in 1999, and I was working for the previous owner, which is Don Brown, and he has 2 barbershops and had decided to step away from this place, and we finalized everything in January of 2020.
You actually used to work at both shops, didn't you?
I did.
But it was a long way away, so.
It's in Auburn Hills. Actually, he moved now, and it's in Bloomfield, which was only a couple of blocks down the road, but Brown's Barbershop is the name of that one.
So you've been here since 99. Wow. Tell us about your crew that you have here.
So Derek is a longtime barber here in Dearborn, and he attended Detroit Barber College, and he has been barbering in Dearborn for how many years, Derek? 20? Okay. So Derek hopped on our crew probably about 3 years ago. Okay. And so he stayed with us when I took over, and we've also got Sophia. Sophia's been here a bit longer than I have. Sophia travels here from Canada, actually.
Yeah, and that's quite a story in itself because of the border closing.
Correct. So we were a bit concerned when we were able to open once again back in June of 2020.
Well, you're going a little fast there.
Oh, sorry.
So you bought it in January. And how many other barbers do you have?
Oh, so we also have Susie, and Susie has been with us for about 5 years now.
Okay.
Susie's also from Dearborn, and she came back to barber with us when she moved back here from New Orleans.
Okay. So, and they all work. I heard you earlier say to somebody that they all work 5 days or 4 days.
Yes, all of us work 4 days. Also, I have one more barber. Teresa just came back on board. Teresa works here part-time. She worked here years ago. She just stepped back on board with us.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you put in a lot of hours. I know that when you own it. Okay. So you bought it in January. February, you did real good. January and February. By the way, the barber shop had there wasn't a vacant spot on the walls because there were so many pictures up. Sports pictures, old pictures, new pictures from sports, whatever, but it was just covered. And I guess it looked all right for a barber shop. But then, when did you start changing it? During the pandemic?
No, actually, it started prior to the pandemic. I started with new flooring. It had been over 20 years since Don had, done anything here. So I decided to have a new floor installed, and it was literally 2 weeks prior to our shutdown, March 15th.
Now, did you do the floor? You helped on it.
So I picked it out, but I did not install it. No,
Okay.
I hired someone to do so.
Yes. So you're just trying to make it look better.
Yes.
So that was 2 weeks
Freshen it up.
before the March 15th or the mid-March when we all got shut down.
Yes.
So you really didn't have a lot of time to build up your clientele's already been built up. But, just to shut down till June? You were shut down till June?
Yes, it started March 15th. It was only supposed to be 2 weeks, I believe. And from there, it kept extending. Ended up 3 months exact.
Well, I'll tell you, for a person that just laid out a lot of cash for your new business, that's not a good thing. That had to be a little tough on your nervous system.
Just a tad.
Yeah, just a tad is right, I'll bet.
Yeah, I was definitely stressed out for sure. But my main thing when we closed was to get all of us taken care of, all of the barbers that were here on staff. And, we were offered unemployment while we were off of work and closed. So my main thing was to get everybody on board with that. And definitely interesting time to step in and buy the barber shop, that's for sure.
I bet it was real interesting. So you didn't start drinking more then, did you? That just had to be really nerve-wracking. That's one reason why I wanted to do. We got a grant from the Cable Commission for equipment. So because we've always broadcast from Dearborn High School, and what I did, with Ken McCollum's help, we filled out this grant, and the cameras at the school are $60,000 each.
Oh, wow.
So we knew we couldn't afford that. But the technology has gotten so good now that these cameras that we have, they're like $3,000 a piece. So we got a pretty good sized grant to get lights so we can do remotes, because the school was closed down like you were. So we were out of business as far as a TV show.
Okay.
And we go out to 43 communities all over southeastern Michigan, from Woodhaven up to Bloomfield. And I just thought it was terrible that we couldn't broadcast anymore. So over the course of being down and the pandemic, we finally talked them into giving us a grant. And Ken bought all the equipment, and so we can do remotes now. So that's why when I heard in January that you bought it, I was really excited. I thought, great for you. You've actually talked about it for a while, of buying your own shop.
Yes, it's definitely been something I always, looked into, and 2020 was the year.
Yeah, never to be forgotten.
No.
So, because of that, I thought when we do get our equipment, we're going to do a remote, and I want to do a remote at your barber shop. Okay. This is our first one we've done.
Okay.
We interrupted your business. We, you've allowed us to do this. Tell us some things that have really worked out for you because of the pandemic, as far as your reservation system or appointment system.
Yeah, so Hill Barbers has always been a walk-in barbershop. Majority are. And during the pandemic, or during the shutdown, there were a lot of changes that we had to make. Obviously, my crew and we chatted quite a bit throughout the 3 months to try to figure out what was going to work best for us and how we were going to come back and handle everything as a team. And I had some experience with a scheduling app I had been toying around with for years after my son was born, because my schedules changed so much. And so we started using that. And it was a bit hectic at first for everybody to, make the change. People were very hesitant. They weren't happy about making appointments, but after a few months, everyone's been on board. It's nice to walk in and sit down in the barber chair as opposed to waiting for an hour and a half. We've always been a very busy barber shop, so there were times where people would have to wait an hour or two for a haircut. I'm sure you remember those days, right?
I remember those days, because that's why I used to come in on Saturday morning. I'd be here at 7:30 with donuts. You don't open till 8. You remember those?
I remember, yes.
And you always got criticized because I brought donuts. Anyway, my brother-in-law, Len Branca, who goes to Sophia, right next, the chair next to you, I was having dinner with him last night. He loves your appointment system. He said, I just can't believe it. Now I walk in, so it's that convenient. And it's really easy to do as long as you press finish at the end.
To make sure that the appointment actually books.
Yep, because that's my problem, is I always forget to press finish.
Okay.
But so that's really helped you out, hasn't it?
It has. And just remember, Skip, if in fact the appointment goes through, you will receive a text reminder and also an email reminder that the appointment was made. So always check for that.
Okay. I will do that from now on.
So,
but I didn't make it for this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you didn't need that one.
So now so June comes along of 2020, and you can open the door now.
Yeah. So
what did you guys have to do to conform to the rules, I guess?
There were so many rules. We were not allowed to have very many people in here. So we, had done the appointment, so that helped a lot. If people were to sit in the waiting room during the time they were waiting to get into our chair, we had to wipe down all of the stations, all of the chairs, that people would sit in. We sanitize all the time, but we were extra sanitizing, and all of our tools, after about a month, we all had to buy new tools because we were using alcohol on them, and that was not a good thing.
Oh,
but
boy.
yeah, so it was just a lot of cleaning. Of course, we were all masked.
As the people in the chair
Correct.
were masked too. That was required.
Correct. And that was interesting with the masks going around the ears. I think we all cut plenty of masks off of people.
I heard Derek laugh.
Yes, Derek actually found a cool little gadget that we could use for the masks, and it would fit right back here on the neck.
Okay.
So that way we could get around the ears and that. So, and yeah, I think that was about it. You know, we had to keep a log of every single person that walked through the door in case there was some sort of COVID outbreak.
Right. Okay, so that was tiresome for you. It was really probably a lot of work, a lot of extra work, a lot of finance because you had to buy special cleaning stuff.
Yes, there was a lot of PPE equipment that came along with it.
Only one or two could be in here at a time.
Yes.
So that's not a good way to run a business, you know that? Especially when you have one after another.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes. We did increase our prices, but we did not do it right when we came back. We decided as a team to just leave it the same. But moving forward about 2 months and, you know, I realized that we needed to. So it had been over 15 years since the prices had been raised, so we did do that.
Okay, but when you raised the prices, what'd you raise it? $1? I mean, that's not a big, huge raise.
We didn't raise it very much. No, a couple dollars actually. I think on all ends. Yes. Because we have different prices for kids, seniors,
right,
men's. Yeah. So it was a couple dollars on each end. Yeah.
So you do cut a lot of children.
We do. We have a lot of families that come in here. I've cut many young kids' hair that are now married, have their own kids.
Wow.
So that shows my age just a tad.
Yes. But that's a nice thing, though.
It is. I've been to grad parties and everything else, so it's nice to watch them grow.
Do you also, you cut senior, men's hair. How about women? Do you cut a lot of women's hair?
We do actually have quite a few women that come in, and Susie is a color specialist. She does a lot of colors in here, so she's taken on quite a few female for her clientele.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's wide open then. You covered the gamut. Mm-hmm. Now I also know that during the pandemic and everything else, but when you first bought it, you bought a special thing for outside. Tell us about your barber pole.
Yeah, so I did not buy that actually. A client that has been a client here for as long as I've been working here, and his son comes here, his grandkids, and he had that barber pole in his basement, and that barber pole came from a shop. Can't remember where it was located. But he obtained that barber pole, and it's been in his basement for many years. Was
it working in his basement or just sitting
It was
down
not.
there?
It was cracked. It was falling apart. So so he gave me this barber pole, and it was before we closed down. Probably right when I bought the shop, maybe in January, February, he gave me this barber pole. So during the pandemic, that was one of my big things. I wanted to fix the barber pole, and it is outside working now. My son actually helped in, restoring it. So it is working, it's functioning.
And you replaced the glass with plastic probably?
Yes, there's a company called Marvy, and they're the only ones that, is it Marvy, Derek?
Yeah.
Okay, I think so, yeah. And that's where all the parts were ordered from.
So most barber shops do not have a barber pole out in front.
No, especially one that's, well over 50 years old.
Okay, now I told you to look up some stuff. Why did they use a barber pole? What was the purpose of it? Do you know that?
Well, we did look it up earlier, and
most people don't know that.
In medieval times, right, barbers actually performed bloodletting, Different procedures, yeah. Teeth pulling.
Wow.
Yes,
And I did not know that either.
they did.
So they were just more than cutting hair.
Yes, yes. They were also surgeons. Amputations, you know, we have so many sharp objects.
Wow.
So they would perform amputations.
I-
Would you
I-
trust me
Yeah,
as a surgeon? Surgeon?
I know, I'm not sure about that, but I trust you right now. That's interesting. At least I thought that.
Yeah, we turn it on every morning when we arrive.
So, you turn it off at night, because I have come by and it has not been running.
Yeah, we used to leave it running, but the light bulb burns out pretty quickly when it's left running all night. So,
Okay. Tell us about, you mentioned that Sophia comes from Canada. How did that work during the pandemic?
so Sophia was able to travel across the border. She's been coming across since June 15th, so it's been working well for her. I think the border is now open.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, do you guys get tested? Or are you required to get tested now, even after the pandemic?
We were never required, but if any of us had symptoms, that was one of the requirements I had for all of us, was to get tested, just because we're around so many people.
Sure.
We were all vaccinated, so.
And I know that you guys really wore masks till quite late.
Correct. Actually, 2 of our barbers still wear masks all the time. They have not removed their masks.
Well, I think Sophia's
Sophia's one of them.
Yeah.
Yes, she continues to wear it, and it's now at everyone's discretion. But when clients come in and they wear masks, we all, put our masks on, or if they're in our chair.
Sure.
Because a lot of kids aren't vaccinated, so everybody has their own comfort level. So that was what we decided in here. If someone in fact gets in your chair with a mask, that we honor that and also wear one.
Oh, by the way, they took down all the sports pictures, and they have beautiful pictures of, right there, I'm looking at the Ford Rotunda, the Ford Building, Museum, the Greenville Village, which I was at last week.
Okay.
Where did you get the pictures from?
So Lance Rosel, he is a local photographer. He's also a longtime client of the barbershop, and he's been a client here, for well over 20 years. And I started talking to him during our shutdown, and we finally came up with a plan for the pictures in here. We started back here in June, and the walls were bare, and I worked, with Lance for all the photos. It took a few months, but yeah, everybody came together and helped us out, and we're all doing well here.
No,
So.
Lance does sell them from here?
Yeah, Lance is selling his photos from here if people are interested. We've had a few, ask, and so we've sold some of his photographs. Given the floor, had just been installed, it inspired me to come in and remove hundreds of pictures.
Hundreds?
Yes, that had been up for as long as I've worked here, and I started removing them so I could paint.
So I'm sure there were marks behind them.
Oh yes, dirt, dust, holes everywhere. So I learned very quickly how to mud and sand and prep.
You did this all yourself?
I had a couple clients that offered help, and they came in. I had one person help a little bit with the mudding and sanding, and another client helped with the painting. My son came in and he helped me wash all of the photos, and he helped paint. So that was a great experience for him.
No, I want to kind of go along with that for a second. Mm-hmm. You say your clients came in to help you. You also help your clients too. I know that you sell tickets to the firefighters, the auction that they have.
Yeah, the burn drive.
The burn drive, yes, that's what it's called.
Yeah, so Steve is,
Steve Warden.
yes, he is ahead of that. So he's been a client of mine for years. So we always offer the raffle tickets here. Cherry Hill Barbers, we sponsored an event they had most recent with the Burn Drive, the city of Dearborn. It had to do, they were offering chicken dinners just this past week. Yes, so we were a sponsor there. So absolutely, we,
You help out.
help out our clients and sponsor local baseball teams. And
I will be coming to you. I'll be coming to you in a month or so to buy some peanuts. I
the
know
peanuts.
I know all the kids don't eat peanuts, and you have to be careful who you pass them out to.
Okay.
But their parents should know if they're allergic to it or not.
Yes.
So you could buy a case of peanuts at
All
a
right.
discount price
Okay.
for the Kiwanis Club, because that money goes back into the community.
Okay.
All our money, all our funds do. But also the Burn Drive, they give the money, they're $50 tickets, and they a brand new car, Camaro normally.
Yes.
So they go to 4 charities, 3 hospitals, and Pennington Center for Blind Children, and I'm on the board there.
Okay.
So it's heartwarming to me for that. So Steve does a great job on that.
He does, absolutely.
Now, do you do anything with the Goodfellows? Well, that was the Goodfellows last weekend with the turkey, with the.
It was the
chicken.
Goodfellows, yes. Was it Goodfellows
Part of
and
it.
Burn Drive?
Right.
Yeah, there's numerous participants.
We're
yes.
running down to about our last 2 minutes, Lisa.
Okay.
What would you like to say? Anything you want to add, or this has been a trying experience for you. I know that.
Yeah, I guess just thank the community for all of the help and support over the last year and a half to make our business work here.
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't
Yeah.
mean to put you on the spot like
No,
that.
that's okay. No, you didn't. And so thank you to everyone that came out to help. During the pandemic and the last year and a half, I mean, so many of our longtime clients have offered to, help doing things around here, donating, their time and just to help out around here and help remodel.
What she's doing right now is doing my eyebrows. This has been funny over the years. I made it up one time, and I said, the next time I came in the next day or something, I said, you forgot to cut my eyebrows. So we've been laughing about that, and I've been accusing her of it for years.
But you only accused me of forgetting to trim one eyebrow.
Yeah, that's
yes.
right.
I trimmed
Yes.
one side but not the other, so
That's
I'll be
right.
sure to walk over to the
Yes.
side.
Yeah,
okay.
right. But that's been fun,
Yes.
and I hope it doesn't stop. You do, but I don't.
No, I love it.
I'm glad that you finally did this one too. I really did that.
Skip, I didn't forget it this time.
I kind of forgot what you said to do, but anyway, how does it look? Does it look pretty good?
It's looking good.
I'm sure it does.
It does. I'm going to straight razor your neck and
Yeah, I always like that. That's the best part, I think. It really feels good. So thank you for watching KiwaniTalk. I appreciate it, and we'll see you again on the next remote.